So here we are today with another episode of Inspired Good Fat Life. And the special guest today is me, along with colleague Jennifer Huff. And we'll get back to that in a minute. But first, I just want to say welcome. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful day outside today. It's one of those days where you just are happy to be alive here in Michigan. I know it's really hot in Texas. We have some really, really cool stuff coming with a new magazine that's coming out in July. And we have some workshops that will be on the schedule in September, coming in September. And I'm really excited about the people that are showing up and how this is all coming together. So today, though, we're going to talk about getting kind of unstuck and ridiculous abundance. So I think I probably had mentioned, but just for those of you who are new or haven't heard, I am currently working on my PhD. And yes, I am in the later sections of my life, and I'm an example of you're never too old. Anything's possible. And my grandkids are having fun with this too, so that grandma's in school. So part of my, it's in conscious entrepreneurship, and it's working around good fat life. And part of my criteria is I can take courses that support the work, but at the end of the course, I have to write it. They call them a harvest essay. And I've never really done this before. I've always been kind of like, have the experience, and then I've got 15 new experiences ahead of me waiting, and haven't taken the time to really go through and look at what I just did and how that has impacted, and influenced my going forward. So that said, that's what a harvest essay is that you have to kind of take time and write about what you just experienced. And it could be, Father's Day was recent. It could be being with the family on Father's Day, what the experience was for you, or taking your grandchild to the first movie. It could be anything. But anyway, I had taken this class. It's called Thriving Operating Systems. And again, it's with Jennifer Huff. And she had just written a book. It's called Unstuck. And Jennifer was a guest on the show in this spring. But one of the things is she started the book and the course, and here's the question. What is the most fulfilling thing you can do in the most productive way that would use your unique skills optimally and make a contribution that makes your heart sing such that you would wake up excited every morning while enjoying your life in ridiculous abundance in every way? Now, that's one question. I'm going to read it again, and I'll read it slow so that you can really kind of think about it a little bit. What is the most fulfilling thing you can do in the most productive way that would use your unique skills optimally and make a contribution that makes your heart sing such that you would wake up excited every morning while enjoying your life in ridiculous abundance in every way? It's quite a mouthful, but it's an amazing question. So really think about it. So what we're going to focus on today is this notion of ridiculous abundance. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this today is because the news is so full and the conversation is so heavy with inflation, the price of gas, the war, what's going on in our political climate, and, on and on and on, fill in the blanks. And I would like to ask each of us to kind of stop for a minute and say, what does ridiculous abundance really look like? And how can we have that in our lives? And do we have it in our lives? And I wanted to also, I had to combine it with and I combine this with gratitude, because I know that if I'm thinking grateful thoughts, and many of us have heard, what are your 3 gratitudes for the day? Write things down. But if I'm in fear and anxiety thoughts, if I can stop myself and switch to gratitude, fear and anxiety can't hang out in the same brain as gratitude at the same time. It's just kind of like it's like it's impossible. It's impossible to smile and frown at the same time. So those kinds of things. So let's talk about radical abundance. So I started thinking about everything that I love to do, and um, is it still here even if we have inflation? I mean, I lived through mortgage rates at 18 and a half, 19%. I mean, we got through it somehow. We had situations where there were no gas. The gas just wasn't at the gas station. And so we had to walk and ride our bikes and think differently. So I know that if we can think different, we can have radical abundance in our lives at all time. So here's just my short list. So books. I love to read. Books are free. The library is still free. I will always have an abundance of books to read. Music is pretty much free. You can get downloads on music or music lists on the internet for as much as you want, and it's free. Discussing ideas with friends. I mean, one of my favorite things to do is just hang out with friends and just talk about stuff. You can come up, there's all kinds of lists. You can Google it. Great ideas, topics of things to discuss if you're at a I don't know, lost for what to talk about. Walking. You can walk forever. And that's still free. And it's the best exercise on the planet. So that's, in fact, I just got a book. I was so excited. I got a book. It's called 500 Historical Walks Around the World. So I see lots more walking and combining history in my future. Working in the garden. I mean, who doesn't have a space that available? And even if you live in the city, there's gardens that you can go to. You can go hang out in the park and pull weeds. Playing with your friends, with your family, with your kids. Play board games. Those are free. Who doesn't? You can go to Goodwill and find board games for $2. So, and the list goes on and on and on. I mean, I had over 100 things on my list of things that I love to do that are free and that make my life radically abundant. So there you go. And so I just challenge you, what's your list look like? And once I started with my list, I've now been asking everybody I know, I mean, like, what things would you put on your list? And it's really prompted some wonderful conversations. In fact, I was having this conversation with our sponsor, Snedeker's Cleaners, Jim Gilligan. And one thing he started doing is he's riding his bike to work. And he said, I don't have any cost to, my bike is free. And although there is a cost, I have to use calories. I have to burn calories to ride my bike. So it's almost like a win-win. And I have to say I am so grateful for Snedeker's Cleaners because I realize they've become my partner with my clothing, which is a big part of my self-care, is having my clothes ready and available to wear kind of at a moment's notice. And because of their easy and professional drop-off and delivery service and professional quality of how beautifully my clothes come back, it's really made my life easier. And I love that we're partners with my clothing self-care. So I hope you enjoyed that episode about ridiculous abundance. And I would like to invite you to check out, if you did enjoy it, to check out goodfatlife.com, our website. And there you can find past issues of the magazines and see what's current and what's coming up. So with that, I would like to say, go out and live your good fat life and good fat radically abundant life. And stay tuned for all that's coming in the future with Good Fat Life. Okay, bye.